Welcome back to another edition of the VSOP Lounge. Welcome back. Welcome back. Fellas, gather around. This evening, there's some shit we got to talk about. Because all month June, I gave women the smoke. I was on a smoke tour, giving women smoke on every podcast that I was on in the month of June. And fellas, it's your turn to stand in the paint, because we can blame women all we want to. The feminist movement, Me Too, cancel culture, whatever you want to put this on. But at the end of the day, it did start with us, so it's gonna have to start with us to fix it. So tonight I'm going to be discussing I am a catch. And here's how you determine whether or not you're a catch. But before we go down this rabbit hole, let me acknowledge the drink of the evening. The drink of the evening is a Hennessy Slow Down. A Hennessy Slow Down. It's a nice summertime, refreshing drink. It's Try it. The recipe's here. But let's talk about, am I a catch? Okay, so upon researching for this particular episode, because here's the thing, and I'm being 100% honest and 100% transparent here. Fellas, a lot of us are to blame for the current status of the dating scene. We're responsible for the independent women. We're responsible for the women having to step up and play both roles. We're responsible for single mothers teaching their daughters that they're going to have to play both roles and not to rely on a man for shit. We're responsible for not raising men and raising a bunch of bitch ass beta male individuals, human beings. And I'm gonna try and stay nice on this, but I'm triggered just a touch, and it makes me so happy that I'm so focused on business that I'm not really entertaining any of this bullshit that I'm seeing on social media. So here we go. There are 13 notable traits that women require of men. 13 notable ones. There are probably more, because I believe that women don't know what they want. I think that they know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want. Play it again. Here we go. Funny, positive, communicative, intelligent, ambitious, sexual, romantic, reliable, knowledgeable, confident, equal, faithful, and fatherly. Now, there are a few of these that go without saying. Okay, funny, right? It's often said that the quickest way to a woman's heart is through her mouth. Not the nasty way, but through making her laugh, through her brain. It shows that you're intelligent. It shows that you're witty. It shows that your sense of humor is click, and immediately you have commonality. All right. Intelligent, obviously. Ambitious. Let me pause right there and talk about this. There are a lot of there are a lot of underemployed men in this country. Okay? And there's no problem with having a starter job. There's no problem with having a job that is going to take you to the next level. Maybe you're a male clerk at a Fortune 500 company while you finish your degree. Example. Maybe you're at an entry level position at an entrepreneur's business while you learn the business in order to be like a general manager or to take over. But here's what's not going to cut it: cab drivers, Uber drivers, fast food employees, cart pusher at Walmart, greeter at Walmart. That's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Now, you may be able to finagle some things, do a couple of dates, but we're talking about sustainability here. Because a woman will do anything for a man that she feels secure enough to build a future with. These are facts. If you don't believe me, put it on your story, put it on your platform, put it on your Facebook page, discuss it at work, whatever you got to do. But that's the fact. If a woman feels secure with a man, secure enough to build a future with a man, she'll go above and beyond what's asked and required of her. Because security is everything to a woman. And that's why these minimum wage, underemployed, undervalued jobs don't get you what the woman that you want or the woman that you feel like you deserve. I will say that women like a man that other men respect. Okay. And if that's true, then you can't, like, working at Walmart's not going to cut it. You may get a baddie at the beach until she finds out what you do for a living. And then, some CEO walks by, or some general manager walks by, or some man who's in charge of acquisitions and mergers walks by, and then you're out the door, buddy. She's already looking at other options, because that's not going to sustain a family. That's not going to sustain happy relationships. You can't fly her to anywhere on that kind of income. You can't be spontaneous. The most you can do is a random card and flowers for no reason. That's the most you can do. You can't plan any trips. That's going to be on her to pay for the wedding. Your contribution to the household is going to be minimal, unless you have another job to string along with that one. But then there's the time. There's time, because you're working, 16 hours a day to try and make ends meet to make her happy. You're not going to spend any quality time with her. The investment has to be made early and stuff like this. The investment has to be made early. And sure, people make mistakes. Incarceration, you drop out of college, you drop out of high school, things like that. But what are you doing to better yourself? That's what I mean when I talk about ambitions. Sexual and romantic. First off, women need a man who knows the difference between the two. Women need a man who knows that foreplay isn't just what you do before sex. Foreplay is a 24/7 thing. If she's cooking at the stove and she's making dinner or what have you, and you walk by and you smack her on the butt and you better watch that thing, girl. You're flirting. Only thing she's going to do is back up and be like, you wouldn't know what to do with it. That's all she's going to do. Right? But that's flirting. That's making her feel wanted. It's paying her attention in a way that doesn't require much time or much effort. Romantic. Hey, I'm going to bring some flowers home for no reason. Maybe your chores this week is washing the dishes, but I'm going to go ahead and cook and wash the dishes to alleviate some of that pressure from you, so you can go ahead and relax. Right? That's what that is. And at the end of the day, that's really what we're about. We're about creating more time that we can spend together. I can rub your feet and pour you some wine, and you can sip it while we watch whatever boring shit that you want to watch. Because I've done the work. But the harsh reality is, a lot of men out here are unqualified. We're unqualified for the women that we get. We're unqualified. And So yes, women, this falls on you a little bit because you settle for these unqualified men. But men, when you chase these women, don't send your representative. Be honest. Be honest. I work a minimum wage job. So I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to be overly enthusiastic when it comes to the emotional support and the love and the affection because I'm lacking in these other areas. So when you say underqualified, Dewan J, what are you talking about? What do you talk about when you say underqualified? Well, the harsh reality is a lot of men are underemployed, out of shape, have no idea what romance is, and nobody showed them how to be a father, so they don't know how to be a father. They're undereducated because 22.5% of the black male population have a 4-year degree, right? History has proven men to be unreliable, whether that's Vietnam, the crack pandemic, whether or not they can deal with a woman or not, which means that they choose not to be in a child's life, which is unfair. Math is not on our side here. History is not on our side here. And what that's done is that's allowed women to recreate their position, right? It's allowed women to recreate their position out of necessity, not out of choice. They've had to step up. They've had to fill your role, and they've had to raise your sons to be weak ass men. Because a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. She can't do it. Now, what she can do is teach a boy how to treat women, or what she feels is the best way to treat women. But she can't teach him assertiveness. She can't teach him control of a room. She can't teach him dominance. She can't teach him how to negotiate inside of a boardroom. She doesn't know it. The average woman doesn't know it. And this is no shade to like any woman who's climbed the corporate success ladder and this, that, and the third. This is no diss to you. But you can't do it. A woman with feminine parts can't teach a man with male parts how to be a man. You just can't do it. It's against nature. Underemployment. Why does that happen? Is it and these are legit questions that I have. These are legit questions that I have, and you can answer them in the comments, or you can email me at talktogml@gmail.com. Why does that happen? Is it circumstances? Because it can't be lack of information. You can use the internet for free at the library. And all it takes is 5 minutes to sign up for a library card. So it's not that the information is not there. It's not that people like Kevin Samuels, Dr. Umar Johnson, Killer Mike, hell, even Justin LeBoy and those guys on, the Twitter famous guys can go on here and say, hey, look, up your pressure. Like, you got to stand up. Here's what works. Here's what doesn't work. Here's what works for me. Here's what doesn't work for me. And you can compile and you can research. So there's no excuse. I won't buy the excuse that nobody showed me. Bullshit. There are several people showing you. You have to take advantage of the information that's being presented to you. And if there's more information required or further inquiry, take your ass on Google, on YouTube. Hell, watch Grown Man Logic, where we break shit like this down every single week. The difference between me and you is me and you, right? I grew up I grew up from the time I can remember to the time I was 8. Welfare, food stamps. Mom selling food stamps at one point, buying food stamps at one point. I grew up raising my little brother. I grew up selling a little dope here and there. It happened. That eventually led to me going to one of the most prestigious high schools in the country, which eventually led to me finishing my degree in business. Because the difference between me and you, non-catchable man, is the fact that I took advantage of opportunities. That's the only difference. I took, analyzed, and processed the information that was presented to me and decided to be a man about it and not be lazy about it. That's the difference. That's the only difference. Now, when I say that history has proven men unreliable, what do I mean? Okay. Women, I'm going to throw you a bone here. You are far more observant than any man has ever given you credit for. Okay? You pay attention to the small things, the nuances, right? Like you witness us lie to our homeboys. Nah, man, I ain't going to be able to make it. I got this and this and this going on. When I really didn't want to hang out with you. She witnessed that. And the first thought in her head is, I wonder, does he do that to me? Inconsistency. I'm romantic one month. I buy the flowers. I make your coffee. I clean your house. I rub your feet. I pour your wine. I draw you a bath on your way home. But the next month, you get none of that. She doesn't know what to expect from us. We're braggadocious. There's a quote from the movie American Gangster. The loudest man in the room is usually the weakest man in the room. That's the truest quote ever. Any man that you see bragging about what he has, his assets, and what he's about to do, and his future plans and things of that nature is usually the guy who's embellishing the truth. When you dig further or you investigate or you press upon what he was talking about, you're usually going to be disappointed because he's saying, hey, I'm making these moves, this, that, and the third. I'm going to buy my third house and I'm doing this and I'm going to take a trip to Spain and this, that, and the third. And when you ask him about it, it's just like, well, I'm working on it. I'd like to. These are our plans in the future. But you don't have anything in place to secure that. Women take notice of this, guys. They notice. Whether you think they do or not, they hang on to every word that you say, and that's why every time that you get into an argument, a woman can pull receipts, mental receipts, and be like, hey, no, you said on this date, blah, 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 blah. And all you can say is, I didn't say that, because you don't remember. Because you're full of shit. That's why. You're unreliable. Your word can't be trusted. It's not bond. You're full of shit. Treat a woman as an equal. Now, we got to break this down a little bit, okay? When I say treat a woman as an equal, it's not that women are equal, because you're not. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. You're not equal. No woman on the face of this planet is a man's equal. You're not. Otherwise, if that was the case, there would be no wage gap. There'd be no strength gap. There's no I'm not taking out the trash. I'm not mowing the lawn. I got a man for that. You know how to fix cars equally. Like so when I say treat a woman as an equal, as in you share her workload, right? Because it takes two people to make a household function. Now, I'll throw you an olive branch, ladies. Okay, so the men should do some of the cooking. The men should do some some of the cleaning. The men should definitely participate and take care of and run the errands when it comes to the children. Throw you an olive branch there. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about equality. I'm not talking about in the workspace. I'm not talking about when it comes to taking the trash out, cutting the grass, fixing the car. That's not what I'm talking about. But a woman wants a man to be able to do that. Why? Because it feeds into the other point. Fatherly. Are you fatherly? Now, that doesn't mean that every woman that you come in contact with wants to have your baby. That's not what that means. Get over yourself. Excuse me. What it means is the woman that you want, when she's serious about you, she's already pictured how her first name sounds next to your last name. She's already thought about the child issue. Now, if you have kids and she has none, does she want to give you a baby? If you have no kids and she has some, does she want to give you a baby? She's already thought about this kind of things when she's in contact with you. But are you fatherly? In other words, are you capable of leading a life so successful that you're able to raise a child to live a life that is equally successful or higher? Are you fatherly? Like, can you take care? Can you nurture? Do you have the ability to step outside of your male dominance and your ego to be able to raise a kid with the white glove as well as the iron fist? Can you do that? Faithful, it goes without saying. But here's the thing. The problem is society now is filled with about to or trying to men. And these men are all cap. They're all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do this. Man, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. I'm about to do this. I'm trying to do this. It's all bullshit. Do it. Where's the plan? Where's the list of goals that's going to help you get to what you're about to or what you're trying to do? Because here's the problem that I believe that women are having. We can't, or women can't believe you. Man, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to, okay, how you going to get there? The grown man logic crew can tell you I'm up at 4:30 a.m. every day. No matter how much yak I have, no matter how much editing I have to do, no matter what, I have to be up at 4:30. I have a fucking household to run. I have a son that depends on me to be effective. So I'm awake 4:30 a.m. every day, regardless. Why? Because there's editing to be done. There's marketing to be done. There's new opportunities to be able to discover, emails to be checked, a workout. Sometimes there are dishes to be washed. Sometimes there's a Tylenol to be taken from a hangover, right? But I'm up 4:30 a.m. What's next? Usually a workout as I respond to emails, as I respond to texts, as I respond to inquiries. What's after that? Oh, job number one, where I have to give 150, 175, 200%, or people die. What's after that? Job number two, where I'm right here talking to you. So after that, 3, 4, 5, 6, several different streams of income. Because I can't hold my son accountable if I'm not living the stuff that I'm teaching him. And the sad reality is that Dominic at 1 year old is going to see $3 million at one time in his lifetime. But you can't say that. And it's not your fault per se. But are you setting your kids up for that? Do you have the ability to set your kids up for that? And that's what women are talking about. Because that provides another level of security. And security to women is the key to the box. Is the key to the box. Is the key to the heart box. Swagger is the key to the pussy. Security is the key to the heart. Ladies, comment. Comment down below if I'm wrong. I don't think that I am. So how do we fix it? How do we fix it? How do we go from not a catch to a catch? How do we do it? Here's how. Wake up every day with intention. Wake up every day with purpose. Wake up every day on purpose. When you put your first foot on the floor, that is the first step you're going to take of that day, and that is the first step to the rest of your life. What the fuck are you doing with it? Because I'm sick of seeing men are trash posts. Sick of it. But there's some validity to it. There's some truth to it. Because if you're working at Cookout, you're the short order cook at McDonald's or the Huddle House. Truth of the matter is you ain't shit. But every pretty girl that walks in there, you want to fuck on. You want to holler at. You want to slide your number to. What good is an aspiring rapper? Girl, I got bars. Yeah, you got talent, but what the fuck are you doing with it? Wake up on purpose. And then stop playing fucking games. There's no time to play. There's no time to play. You play when you're successful. You play when you make over $250K a year. You play when you make over, $100K a year. You can play then. But the average man and the average woman don't have time to play. You don't. You don't. You have to wake up. You have to be on task and on purpose. You have to wake up with a mission, and you have to go in and you have to execute that shit on a daily basis. Up your pressure. Don't hate on the celebrities. Don't hate on Michael B. Jordan, Will Smith, Denzel. How did they get there? What about the countless hours that they spent refining themselves? The countless lessons that they learned, both on and off set. What about basically what I'm trying to say is that you men out here are making it hard for the other men out here. Why? How? Because you're sending your representative. And your representative is the guy with all the answers, the guy with all of the money, the guy with all the clout, the guy with his 10-year plan executed. But the real you has none of that shit. And it's not fair. It's not fair what you're doing to these women out here. Because you lure them in under false pretenses. And then you can't back up the shit that you're talking about, which makes it difficult for the next man, and then the next man, and then the next man. Because let's face it, the majority of you guys are basic beta male bitches. I mean, I'm just calling it how it is. And realize when I say that, I'm separating beta and bitches, right? But the two can be combined. And a lot of the times, that's what it is. Beta. You don't fear competition. I mean, you fear confrontation. You don't wake up with a sense of aggressiveness or a sense of purpose. You're not assertive when it comes to these women. You're the I'm gonna write you poetry. I'm gonna grand rising queen you to death. But I have no substance behind that to back that up, and that's what makes you beta. Being a bitch is just, look, man, you're afraid, and you're grateful for any piece of pussy that you get, and that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Why? Because you're a man, made in God's image, with dominion over both the earth and the sea. Why not carry yourself like this? Why don't you carry yourself like this? Why are you afraid of the confrontation? Why are you putting people on a pedestal to the point that you're losing yourself attempting to cater to them? That's bitch. That's a bitch made behavior. Stop wasting people's time. You want to know if you're a catch? Do you meet these 13 traits? Funny, positive, communicative, intelligent, ambitious, sexual, romantic, reliable, knowledgeable, confident, equal, faithful, and fatherly. That's what women regard as a catch, fellas. That's what they regard as a catch. And it's not up to you to decide what they want is wrong or it's too much. No, it's not. Either you measure up or you don't. Shit or get off the pot. You will get it on or you won't get it on. But at the end of the day, hesitation gets people killed. Let me know if I'm off. I don't think so. But let me know if I'm off. Ladies, comment me. You got a story? You got a story about a guy who thought he was an alpha, assertive, and a catch, and he turns out, email me. talktogml@gmail.com. Talk to me. This has been another episode of the VSOP Lounge. Thank you for stopping by and having a drink with your boy. Y'all have a good night. Take care of yourself now. Did you enjoy what you just watched? Be sure to give Grown Man Logic a listen on all streaming services and follow us on all forms of social media. We'll see you next time.